Hey guys, welcome back to the homestead. I think today's the day most of this garden is going to go. I still have quite a few blue lakes on here. There's still a few blooms, but guys, I honestly don't think it'd be enough to fool with. My Brussels sprouts, I didn't do a very good job on them, so I probably won't do those again next year. My purple cabbage looks like decent sized heads considering when I planted it. Same for the green. I had a decent amount of worms on there. Guys, I put some bug dust on there, not much. I just didn't want to fill everything up with chemicals. My bell peppers are still producing. I have to grab my peppers before they get big, because if they get much bigger than this one right here, the deer get them. Jalapenos, the deer are not bothering. I have harvested right at 20 pounds of jalapeno peppers so far. And my dad's half runners look like they could get another meal or two off of these vines. So I guess this is on the agenda for picking today as well. I can probably tell my zucchini by. They have a little bit of color left, but in all honesty, probably not going to get anything else off of them. Maybe one or two. That looks like one on there, so two on there. So fingers crossed on those. Looks like I finally have a yellow cantaloupe. I'll cut into that later. I have about 12 or 15 cantaloupes on the vine. And my cucumbers. Folks, I can't say enough about these cucumbers this year. I think this is about the best cucumber year I've ever had. Even though the vines are starting to look ugly right now, I still have several cucumbers and some green up here and a lot of blooms left. So I'm thrilled about that. And the butternut squash, folks, I think it done pretty good. And as you can see, it did grow decently on a cattle panel. Those are hanging off of it. And those, so I would say that this is a success. What about you? Have you grown squash on cattle panels before? There's a big bunch of them. And guys, under this grass, these weeds, and this grass down through here are the potatoes that we haven't dug yet. We'll get to those soon enough. Hopefully the rain will hold and we can get them. These are tomatoes round number 2 right here. The first ones, in all honesty, I had them in the house and planted them straight outside and they died. Haha, looky there. That will be picked in a few minutes. That one as well. So I'm super pleased with how heavily these are going to bear and the fact that they're going to be later tomatoes. And now over to my first tomatoes. Okay. As you can see, these things are still growing, they're still bearing, and I still have some huge tomatoes on there. They're still blooming, so they should grow until frost. That's typically how these do. So fingers crossed. Oh my goodness at that big one. That's a double handful right there. Look at that tomato, folks. But that's where my garden stands today. And as you know, I've already pulled my spaghetti squash up. And I've only had very, very little okra this year. Last year was the bumper crop for that, but not this year. As you can see, that fence is still leaning, but not nearly as bad as what it was. But guys, that's my August update for the garden.